Mayorkas calls a policy to let 30,000 migrants fly in each month a key element of border plan after legal win. Truly building back better, right? And if you still don't think this has something to do with votes, GOP effort to stop illegal immigrants being counted for House districts, Electoral College shot down in the Senate. Gonna be a lot more voters this time around. And I'm not sure if you've noticed, but after that State of the Union address, old Bidenio's already racked up $10 million. Meanwhile, we got a lot of this happening right here. Don't suppose you know what's going on here. Being chased by probably Coast Guard. Just beached a very nice boat. And suppose those guys are just looking for a nice beach to hang out. What do you think? Let's get you guys up to date on some things that are going to shape your future. Let's go. My name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. If you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most of all, news and awareness, stuff that you want to know about, be sure to hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. New policy for 30,000 migrants to fly in each month. It's a key element we need to happen. Again, if you guys like me bringing awareness, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Make sure that subscribe and notification bell's still turned off. You guys get magically turned off and unsubscribed these days for no apparent reason. So check this out.
At the border. So he didn't announce anything today that is actually going to help us secure the border. Yep. So that was a slap in the face of all Americans.
Brandon, what he says in this speech, the bill would save lives, bring order to the border. It would also give me, as president, new emergency authority to temporarily shut down the border when the number of migrants at the border is overwhelming. And then he points to your union endorsing the bill. So what you're saying is that's not the whole story.
No, of course it's not the whole story, but he never gives us the whole story. There are certain points. The reason that we supported the bill is because it's better than the status quo. What we wanted to see is we wanted to see it go to the floor to be debated, to have amendments put in there to make that bill much better. It is not the perfect bill. We've never said it was the perfect bill, but it is better than the status quo. But we have to look at what can a president do right now. Does he have the authority to shut down the border right now? And he does. He does have that authority. He doesn't need legislation. Does he have the authority to surge asylum officers to the border? He does have that authority. Can he send immigration judge to the borders today? He can do that. He has that authority. All he has to do is work with the DOJ to make that happen. There's a lot of things that he can do that he refuses to do because, again, he would be admitting that he is at fault for the last 3 years.
So that's interesting, right? He's got the power to shut it down, but he's going to call for votes, right? He wants the votes so that he can be empowered to shut down the crisis, even though he's already got the power to do it and hasn't done it. Like he said, if he admits that he's got the power now, just puts him at blame for everything that's happened. In January of 2023, the administration announced the program was expanding to include Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Cubans, and the program would allow up to 30,000 people per month into the U.S., and it allows migrants to receive work permits and 2-year authorization to live in the United States, and was announced alongside an expansion of Title 42 expulsions to exclude those nationalities. It sounds like the problem's growing. What comes next? Opening it up to 4 or 5 more countries? That alone, flying in 30,000 people a month from who knows whatever country. Then we've all heard about the housing assistance, the food assistance, the medical assistance, preloaded money cards. Sounds completely like a money pit. And last I heard, we're going in the hole, more into debt as a country, $1 trillion every 100 days. Where do you suppose that's gonna go? I don't know what we're in for, but I see a lot of downward spiral, almost like we're circling the drain. Then there's this GOP effort to stop illegal immigrants being counted for housing district, Electoral College shot down in Senate. So check this out. An effort by Senate Republicans to stop non-citizens, including illegal immigrants, from being counted on the census for the purposes of appointment for House seats and the Electoral College was shot down later Friday after measure failed to gain the support of one single Dem. We're talking 4 $260 billion spending packet that would require the Census Bureau to include citizenship question in the future census and then bar anyone who isn't a U.S. citizen from being counted for purposes of congressional, district, and electoral college apportionment. The bill would exclude legal immigrants on temporary visas and green cards from the census. The move has been undertaken explicitly to stop illegal immigrants from being counted amid the millions of new arrivals at the southern border. Similar Trump-era effort to include a citizen question on the 220 census. Now, this has sparked widespread criticism. Okay, so it goes on down here to read that the Dems' opposition confirms that they're using illegal aliens to sanctuary. In a statement, Haggerty said that the Democrats' opposition confirms that they're using illegal aliens and sanctuary cities to increase their political power. $10 says there's going to be a lot of ballots out there. These new millions of people's names on them, and we'll be dealing with that down the road. So let's finish by watching this little segment from the State of the Union address regarding what we're talking about. It's pretty nutty.
This negotiation with a bipartisan group of senators. The result was a bipartisan bill with the toughest set of border security reforms we've ever seen. Oh, you don't think so? Oh, you don't like that bill, huh? That conservatives got together and said it was a good bill? I'll be darned. That's amazing. That bipartisan bill would hire 1,500 more security agents and officers, 100 more immigration judges to help tackle the backload of 2 million cases.
So you notice, the more people that come across the border, the more things we need. We need to employ more people. We need to employ more help. We need to it takes a lot more money and funding to handle that many more people.
New policies so they can resolve cases in 6 months instead of 6 years now. What are you against? 100 more high-tech drug detection machines to significantly increase the ability to screen and stop vehicles smuggling fentanyl into America. That's killing thousands of children.
See, they need more machines. They've got more drugs coming across the border because a lot more people are being led across the border. A lot more avenues of money going out, and money that needs to go here, money that needs to go there. Who's paying for that? We are.
And bring order to the border. It will also give me and any new president new emergency authority to temporarily shut down the border when the number of migrants at the border is overwhelming. The Border Patrol Union has endorsed this bill.
So check this out. He's already got the power to shut it down. So create the problem, create the solve. Problem looks real, but it can be solved right now. That's not how they display it.
Yeah. You're saying low. Look at the facts. I know you know how to read. I believe that given the opportunity for a majority in the House and Senate would endorse the bill as well, a majority right now. But unfortunately, politics has derailed this bill so far. I'm told my predecessor called members of Congress in the Senate to demand they block the bill. He feels political win. He viewed it as a political win for me.
He always does that, right?
It's not about him. It's not about me. I'd be a winner. Not really. Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of the thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand. But look, if we change the dynamic at the border, people pay these smugglers $8,000 to get across the border because they know if they get by and let into the country, it's 6 to 8 years before they have a hearing. And it's worth taking the chance of the $8,000. But if it's only 6 weeks, The idea is it's highly unlikely that people will pay that money and come all that way knowing that they'll be able to be kicked out quickly.
So great reason to just keep it open. Let them all over so that they have to run and go through all of these payment structures of lawsuits and court and getting shipped here and shipped there and flew over here and flew over there just to find out that we've got to pay to get them back over. It's insanity.
I would respectfully suggest my Republican friends owe it to the American people, get this bill done. We need to act now. And if my predecessor is watching, instead of paying politics and pressuring members of Congress to block the bill, join me in telling the Congress to pass it. We can do it together. But that's what here's what he will not do. I will not demonize immigrants saying they are poison in the blood of our country. I will not separate families. I will not ban people because of their faith. Unlike my predecessor on my first day in office, I introduced a comprehensive bill to fix our immigration system. Take a look at it. It has all these and more. Secure the border, provide a pathway to citizenship for dreamers, and so much more. But unlike my predecessor, I know who we are as Americans. We're the only nation in the world with a heart and soul that draws from old and new. Home to Native Americans whose ancestors have been here for thousands of years. Home to people of from every place on earth. They came freely. Some came in chains. Some came when famine struck, like my ancestral family in Ireland. Some to flee persecution, to chase dreams that are impossible anywhere but here in America. That's America. And we all come from somewhere, but we're all Americans.
Love the cards he's playing there at the end. It is America. We do come from all places, all over. But for those of us that are already here, we're here legally. And there's a certain amount of people that come legally. And the problem lies in open doors, as many coming over as possible. We're talking millions. 10 million, expected to go to over 100 million is what I've heard. But we're chalking it up to illegals being legal instead of coming over in a monitored and safe way. I have a feeling the soup's gonna get pretty thick coming up here in the near days. I'll be sure to keep you guys posted. Be sure to share this out. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you on the next one.